Everybody, what's going on? What's going on?
What's going on with you there, cuz?
Just trying to be like a squirrel in a tree. No, wait. What is that saying? I never mind.
I don't know.
We're going to start over season 2 now.
Listen,
hello, everybody. Welcome to the Off the Rails podcast. We're in season 2.
We are in season 2. Congratulations for making it through season 1. You know, listen. You have road trips sometimes that you go point A to point B, maybe stop and get a little gas, and that's it. Everybody's happy.
Maybe you're going to get ready to go Armsaw from, 3 states away.
That's right. And a goat. So sometimes you just have to do that, but sometimes you go on road trips and it starts out really good, and then you feel a little shimmy, in one of your tires. Yep. And then it blows out, and then the transmission falls out.
Oh no.
Yeah, brakes quit working, and then but then you bring it back on the road and you get it kind of fixed, and so that's kind of our year. I mean, as far as the podcast is concerned, but
I feel like the transmission's still slipping.
It's slipping, but we're going. You know what I mean? We're going down the road.
We just did a doctor patch on our transmission. We're like, all right, just get us back on the road. Don't fix it necessarily. Just get us back on the road.
All I got to do is get home, man. I just got to get home.
Yes.
But we've learned a lot. We have learned a lot about podcasting, and
mostly what not to do. We haven't really figured out what we should be doing yet.
And I can tell you, you don't just sit here in front of a mic and talk for a little while and then it all magically gets done. Now, I got to give hat tip to Travis because the last whole bunch of episodes he has edited. Now, I told him that when he edits to let me know, because we can look at each other's computer, and he's supposed to be showing me how to do the edit so I can take some of the load off. He hadn't done that yet. I'm just saying he hasn't done that yet. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I figure what would probably be easiest is while I'm sleeping in your front yard in the coming weeks, we'll just do it there.
Yeah, that'll work. So, I mean, a lot of credit goes to...
Is my pop-up tent ready? Yep.
Yeah, I got it ready, man. Got you some firewood out there, buddy.
Nice.
It's going to be cold. It's going to be cold now.
Glad we only live in the South.
You ain't lying. We are ready to go. But yeah, hat tip Travis. He takes care of a lot of stuff behind the scenes, pretty much all of it. Like I do the subscription, I think, for the host every month, and I talk in the microphone. That's it. That's literally all I do.
Well, you've been generating some ideas here lately too.
Yeah, but
because I've added nothing to the notes. Actually, I have, but it's been so long since I wrote them, I don't know what any of them are.
So we tried to go one day last week, I think we tried to record.
I don't know. All I know to say is, wow, end of the year.
Dude.
Tough to do anything extra. I mean...
And it was one of those things where I was like, hey, Travis and I are recording tonight. No, you're not. I said, what do you mean? Well, remember this we had going on? And I'm sitting over there like, no. So I sent Travis a text and I said, well, apparently we have plans for tonight. So I don't know.
I mean, anybody out there who works at like a regular job where you just go to work, think about it for a second, how hectic your probably last month of work was, like trying to get to the end of the year, especially businesses who like take a decent amount of time off for the holidays and like their year starts over January 1. Like a lot of companies start, October. But now imagine how busy it is, and like you're the business owner now and you want to get everything done so you can take a little time off and have the holiday and everything.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. And then you're a business owner trying to take a little time off, and then you're trying to slide a podcast in there somewhere. Like,
yep.
It just, man, I mean, it is, and it is what it is. We're not going to sacrifice family time, for this thing. As much fun as it is, it's not the priority. It's just not there. And we tried to make it priority, when we could, but there were just things that overrode it. And the year ended not exactly the way I wanted to. I mean, I really would have liked to have said, goodbye, everybody. Have a Merry Christmas and a safe New Year, and we'll see you back in 2024. But we just fell off the face of the earth, but we came back.
Yeah, but now we can say, hope you had a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
We do.
And I can't remember the guy's name because I didn't look it up. I didn't know we were going to talk about it. But I commented on just some random cabinet post in one of the groups and had somebody I'd never seen before get on there and say, "Hey, missed y'all Monday. Looking forward to y'all's next episode." I have no idea who it was.
Nice.
So, we're getting out, and I'm one of these where, Jeff and them in the cabinet group, they try to run a tight ship, and I get it. I don't want other people in there advertising all the time and saying, "Hey, buy this from me. I sell this." So I'm really careful about when I put the podcast in.
Right.
And so I just had some general information, and I said, y'all can hear about it on the next podcast, and tagged off the rails, and that was it. And I feel like if I sneak one in every now and then,
now let somebody ask what podcast should people listen to while they work. I'm going to plug it every time.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely.
I'll plug it there.
Oh, yeah. I told somebody the other day they were looking for good books to read. And I said, you don't need books. Go to podcast. Just download ours and listen to it. That's all you need. We'll give you all the information you need to live.
You can have pictures. You can just watch the video if you want.
Yeah.
I mean.
So I had a great Christmas. I mean, barring the circumstances.
Did you?
But overall, it was a great Christmas. It was, New Year's, I was in bed by 9, which is my tradition. And that's pretty much it. Everybody's
I saw 11:30.
Did you? Oh, you got that close, man?
I got that close.
It on out?
Didn't finish it. No, I said I'm going to bed.
Did you tell Kim not to wake you up at midnight?
They were still around. I'll tell that story in just I'm going to write that one down because kids on New Year's. I'm not going to lick it this year. I'm going to try real hard not to lick this pen this year.
I was like, when you would do it.
Kids at New Year.
Well, I tell Tammy, I was like, listen, you know the rule. Do not wake me up at midnight because I might be in a position where I'm actually getting sleep. So don't mess that up. She's like, okay.
Does she stay up usually?
She never makes it. She never makes it to New Year. Nope.
She has intentions?
She does. And her and the kids. And I mean, it's like 10:30. I'm like, you guys have this big plan where she cooks a bunch of finger foods and dips and rotel and all this stuff, right? And they got 3 or 4 movies lined up to watch. This year was Top Gun, so they were going to watch Top Gun 1 and then Top Gun Maverick.
Both of them. We watched the original and Top Gun on New Year's Day, I think, though.
Yeah, and so they made it like halfway through the second one, and then Joseph was like, "Yeah, I'm out. I'm not doing it."
It's really not going to change my life.
Nope, it sure ain't.
Yeah.
But how
we didn't have anybody really to hang with, so we were just kind of at the mother-in-law's, and I was like, yeah, good night.
Yep, going to bed.
Good night. Good holiday, really good holiday. It's always good to have, the oldest daughter home for a little while. So she's been home, ready for her to go back to school. But my wallet's ready for her to go back to school.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But no, I will say this, having kids who are working, Christmas presents were significantly better this year than I didn't get a single homemade anything. I got all like from and nothing from like the Dollar Tree. Like everything was like a legit present this year. I was like, oh, I kind of like y'all working. This is nice.
Lying. You got some money.
Yeah. Well, we know it was a good Christmas. Did a little road trip, tried to do a little hunting. We'll talk about that too. But just thankful to have made it to another year, and have an opportunity to have a year of business and have another year of podcast and another year of, good friends and good family around me, so just thankful for that. It's just,
oh yeah, man. It's,
the simple things.
It could have been a lot worse if you think about it. We had struggles and a lot of our struggles as far as the business side, I mean, we put out there.
Yeah.
We would talk about them and come in but man, you look back and I mean, it could have been a lot worse than what it was. I mean,
Yeah, you look back at your end of year sales, you look back at your profit, and you look back on all the challenges that you had and you go, man, it really wasn't that bad of a year. I mean, it had some rough patches in it for sure.
Yep.
But, it really, really was a pretty good year. Everything went up.
It did.
I don't mean like Joe Biden, everything went up. I mean, more revenue, more profit, I mean, everything did make some increases. So,
but that takes a lot of work. I mean, I want to add that little caveat in there is if you see a business owner that's doing better and doing more and he's growing, that does not happen automatically, man. I mean,
No.
you have to kind of get out there and you really have to push, to have that kind of thing. So,
And you have to have good customers. Just I left a customer's house today, and she's like, "I'm gonna make sure I give you your number out." And I was like, "We appreciate it. That's referral business is the best business."
Because you're a shoe in.
Referral business doesn't cost you anything.
Yeah, and you're a shoe in. Like you could tell them, "Yeah, I'll have it. I can do it. I can do it by this time." And they're like, "Yep, okay." Well, Sally Mae said you're good. You're good. So you got it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, kick it off, man. Catch everybody up with you. I mean, we need to. We're gonna have to hit the rewind button. Go back before Christmas a little bit.
Yeah. So
December the 19th, was it?
Yep.
Oh, look at that! I swear I don't have that written down anywhere.
You got that written down somewhere.
I don't know how I pulled that. I can't even tell you my anniversary date, but somehow I remember that date. I don't know.
Oh, I'll remember it too, buddy. I promise you that. So, long story, we'll catch you up. Been having heel problems. Been having a lot of heel problems. Left heel, not plantar fasciitis. This was a Hodgman's deformity, which is kind of like a heel spur to you and me, but it's basically a bone growth on the back of the heel that had started to grow into my Achilles tendon. And so after 3 months of dealing with the doctor, I'm not getting into that, but
couple of doctors.
The last visit, I told her face to face, like a man, I said, I think at this point, we need to fix it. I'm not taking anti-inflammatories for the next 30 years. I have an obvious growth on my heel that needs to be addressed. And she goes, do you have a picture of it? And I said, well, you guys have my x-rays. And she goes, well, we can't find your x-rays. And I said, well, I got a picture of it on my phone. And literally, dude, I showed her my phone screen of the x-ray. She goes, oh, yeah, we can cut that off. When do you want it? Before Christmas or after Christmas?
That was it.
That was it. A picture of my phone. That could have been anybody's heel. A picture on my phone, and she scheduled me for surgery right then and there. So, December 19th rolls around. I go in. Everything's going. Did pre-op over the phone. That was
COVID has given us some new tools, hasn't it? I mean,
she was like, "Do you smoke?" I said, "Nope." She said, "Do you drink?" And I said, "Not enough to matter." And she goes, "See you at 6:00." And I was like, "Okay." So anyway, I went in.
That's an AM.
That's AM.
Not. That's not a 6 my time. That's a 6 Midge time.
Yeah. So finally met the doctor, who I wasn't even sure was a real person. He comes in. So the nurse comes in and she goes, I need you to sign your foot, initial your foot where we're going to be doing the surgery. So I bent down and initialed it. She bends down and initials the heel. The doctor comes in and says, what are we doing today? And all of this is, let me preface it by saying every person you talk to now in the hospital asks for your name and date of birth. Yes. Every single one of them. Yes. Every one of them. What are we working on today? And I said, well, Doc, I kind of was hoping you would know that before now. Right. He goes, well, we got to verify everything. So I said, okay. So I said, left heel, growth on the back of it. Hopefully,
how about we pretend like this is a credit card company? You tell me what you're going to do, and I'll say yes or no. Not me tell you what I think you should do.
Yeah. So I was the first surgery of the day, so I was nervous about that. And I talked to him, and I said, Doc, hit me with it straight. What's my recovery time? He said, oh, man, 2 weeks. He said, we're going to go in there and shave that little sucker off. You can walk out of here this afternoon. 2 weeks, you'll be back to normal. I'm like, okay, because that's what I, heard going into it.
Right.
They rolled me to the operating room, and they strapped my arm straight out beside me. Oh, the anesthesiologist came in the pre-op room too, and he signed it, and the doctor signed it. I got like 5 initials on my foot.
Okay.
So I guess there's no confusion over what we're working on. And the doctor circled where it hurt. So I was like, all right. Anyway, I asked the anesthesiologist, I said, how long before I'm asleep? He said, just a few more seconds. And I said, you better get with it, brother, because I can't deal with my arms being strapped down like this. You're going to have to do something. He said, 10-4. And I said, about how long do people usually, last when you give them the medicine? He said, nah, not too long. Oh, I was gone, buddy. I mean, just that fast. Woke up. Felt great when I woke up. Anesthesia to me is super easy. I do not get nauseated. I don't feel bad. I feel really good. Feel like rested. I woke up and the doctor comes in and goes, slight change of plans. Had to do some grinding. Had to unattach your Achilles tendon from your heel. Reattach it with an anchor. You're looking at 3 to 4 months now. Have a great day. Have a great day. See you later.
That's it. That quick.
That quick turned from 2 weeks to 3 to 4 months. And I'm sitting there, in recovery going, my gosh, what am I going to do now? I got all these jobs lined up to do. And I mean, buddy, I'm down. I cannot walk. I cannot put any weight on that foot. I mean, I am wheelchair or crutches bound. So, we'll get through it. I went back today for my 2-week appointment, and they took the bandage off and pulled the stitches out, gave me a boot, and said, walk on it as much as you can. Put as much weight on it as you can. So the problem is the top of my foot is super sore. It's like it's broken.
Really?
And in the boot, when I go to rock forward, it pulls on the top of my foot. And I mean, buddy, it hurts.
Huh.
And so Tammy seems to think it's probably from being wrapped so tight for 2 weeks and not moving. It's probably because it was blue up under there. It was like bruised.
Oh, really?
And so, it could be something to do with that. So anyway, we're going to give it a couple of days and see if that gets better, and I can actually, but as far as the actual Achilles and the heel, no problem. I took a couple of pain pills I took 1 day 4, 1 day 5, because it was just achy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to go ahead and take, and I took one today before the appointment, because I said, man, they may twist that sucker, go to pulling on it or something. I said, I just want to be ready. But everybody told me how, horrible it was going to be and how much it was going to hurt. And they do a nerve block now when they work on your foot. And that gets you 24, 36 hours. You don't even feel your foot. I mean, it's completely numb.
Yeah.
So, but didn't have any pain. Recovery's been great. Taking a shower is the hardest part. But, other than that, it's been going
wheelchair's
good.
gone? So you're done with the wheelchair for right now?
Yep.
Okay.
Still going to use it probably for the next month. Just so I'm not having to stand on it all. Now, if I get to where I can just stand on it and walk a little bit, I'll probably get rid of it.
Okay.
And it's going to Chris next, my brother.
Okay. Got a little something coming up for him?
Well, a bull stepped on his foot about 4 months ago, and he never did anything about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got a broke toe, and it's calcified now. So now they have to go in and grind his bones and put a screw in it or a plate or something. He done got himself in a mess, but it's going to be fun because both of us are down.
Good Lord. Good Lord.
But other than that, I mean, standard operating stuff where Trey is killing it. He's doing a lot of stuff, and he's got a really good attitude about it. He's not upset, and Tammy's here and the kids are here. So, he's not just by himself. There's a lot of stuff he's got to do now that he used to not have to do.
You found out your shop is not ADA compliant.
It's not ADA compliant. The ramp going into the middle room is not 3 degrees. It is more like 40. And I tried to go up at one time, and I went to lean it back, and I was like, probably not a good idea. So I have to go up it backwards and use my good foot to help push me up.
Kind of help pedal it up. Oh,
yep.
Man.
Mm-hmm.
Has Trey ground that spot down yet in the shop?
No.
Still not? You got to hire him. That's it.
Loose debris all over the floor and stuff, man. Be hitting it with my wheelchair, about fall over. It's horrible.
Is he picking air hoses up yet?
One of them he tries to keep up.
Oh,
but these able-bodied people around here, they just don't understand what it's like. You know what I mean? That's what I tell him. I'm like, all you able-bodied
you like my
people
setup. See, all my air hoses come down from the ceiling. They're on
the problem is we had to take it down and then across the floor.
Oh.
And so it's in the, it can be in the way. So I don't know.
So it sounds like it's time for a new drop somewhere.
It is. It is time for a new drop. And him and I are debating on what size hose to get. I'm a 3/8 hose fan, but he's like, man, this 1/4 inch when I'm sanding all day is a lot lighter. So I was like, okay, so we're going to get him a longer 1/4 inch line.
Oh,
Because with a nail gun, you pick it up, put a few nails in, set it down.
Yeah.
Well, when you're sitting there sanding all day, I mean, that hose can really,
yeah.
you know,
See, I don't
really
think
add
about
a
it
lot
because
of
I don't have
fatigue.
any. I don't have any pneumatic sanders, so I wouldn't even think about how it affects sanding.
Well, we po folk around here, we got to buy them old pneumatic sanders.
You bought the air compressor and all that. That ain't po folks. That's quite the jump. I mean, geez.
As far as work related, I mean, I'm going down through here now. I do want to give a shout out to Cutlist Plus, which is the program that takes all your pieces of wood and lays them out on the plywood and tells you what they are, how big to cut them, and it lays them out for the most efficiency, right? Because you got to think this next job is over 100 sheets of plywood. And so it's just not possible for me to take all those and put puzzle pieces, and the program does it in literally 1 second.
Right.
But I had a problem with the labels, like the part label, the part name would be over on top of one of my measurements. And I went through the help guide. I couldn't find anything, and I was like, well, I got to be able to read my measurements on here.
Right.
So they said, you can email us. So I emailed them. And it says, we'll get back with you within a business day. And it was like 3 hours. I got an email back and she goes, try this first. If that don't work, go in here and try this. And I tried it and it worked.
Nice.
So simple email, So I know hardly anybody listening to this knows what Cutlist is, but it's still great to just be able to shoot an email and somebody know what they're talking about.
And get a response in a decent amount of time.
Right.
24 hours is a little bit long, I think, for a response, especially for something that people know that you use for a business. But
and you're sitting there in tech support.
Yeah.
Like how many, if you're getting that many emails where you can't get back to me in a day, y'all got issues.
Yeah, your software needs to be revamped.
Your software is
But at least they got back to you pretty quick.
They did. And let's see some other stuff. Let's see, house update. The trim is all up. The doors are all in.
Nice.
Tammy is now at the caulking phase and filling nail holes.
CAULKING.
LKING. So she's doing all that, and she's questioning whether or not it's worth it. And then I'm like, it's worth it. It's worth it.
Yeah.
The showers, the master shower is going to be going in probably in the next week or two, something like that. I have no idea when I'm going to have time to do the cabinets because I went from 2 weeks down to 3 to 4 months down, and we're supposed to be moving in 3 to 4 months.
And so are you putting in ramps in the new house, or are you just going to hope that you're done by then?
Yeah, probably just be done. If I'm going to be out there all day, I'll take the chair because I made all the doors wheelchair accessible.
Oh, well,
so
there you go.
That's why we did that. I didn't know I'd be in a wheelchair quite this fast, but
I guess if you are planning on dying in a house, putting wheelchair ramps, putting wheelchair accessible doors in it now is a good idea.
Yeah. I made Riley quit her job.
What?
Yeah, I can't handle my kids hurting but so much,
Okay.
And I was on the fence about, they have to learn to be grown-ups and they have to learn to be adults and deal with stuff. But I had a lot of disdain for her boss lady. She was extremely rude, and she was a waitress. And just extremely rude when you went in there. Like, she'd spill turnip juice all over your table and be like, well, you should have moved your hand out of the way. Or she'll spill tea and she's like, why didn't you have the lid off of it? And she would come home literally crying and be like, well, I'm getting fussed at for stuff that's not even, I don't even do that. Like going to the store and getting bread or something,
Yeah.
And the lady's just taking it all out on everybody. And so I told her, I said, listen, you don't have any bills. Yeah, you got to, you pay your gas and a little bit on, you pay your insurance and stuff like that. But you shouldn't be going through this at 17 years old. And so I said, why don't you quit and you come work for me for a little while? We'll give you some money, some spending money. and till you find somewhere else to go. So that's what she's doing. But it was just, I got tired of it, dude. I was like, no 17-year-old should have to sit there. And she told the guy who owned the place, she said, I watch how my dad runs his business and how he talks to Trey and how he talks to his employees. And it's not like this. She goes, I didn't know that, just because you're a boss, that you should talk to people this way. And he's like, well, she's just hard to deal with, and he understood. He's like, I don't blame you. I'd be gone too.
I'd have to go get rid of her.
Well, she's, she causes a lot of trouble. I mean, really, but I don't know if nobody else wants to do that job or what the deal is. But anyway, she's gone. She's working for me now.
Well, it's a hard
little
lesson.
bit.
I mean, and you got to give it her credit. Did she really ever ask you to quit? Like,
no,
she just kind of was telling you what was going on.
Yep. And I saw it every day she went to work. And of course, hunting season, she had to work every Friday, every Saturday, every Sunday. And the lady goes, you cannot take any days off from now to the end of hunting season on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So we had no Friday nights, no Saturday evenings. It was just, come on, man. She's 17.
She's a kid.
I mean, you guys have to kind of work around that. But she works over here, I don't know, 10, 12 hours a week. She's not here every day. But if we need a little something done, she'll come and help.
Yeah.
And, till she finds something. So that sometimes you just have to kind of, you got to play your cards. But at the same time, you don't really have to protect your kids from things like that. But they have to realize that if you're in a situation to where, you're being treated like this every single day, and we all know it. It's not like she was just making it up.
Right.
Then I was like, that's enough. Get out of there.
Yeah.
Let's see. And some of the stuff we're going to talk about, but I got a text from my wife the other night that said since the start of 2018, we have done $1.2 million worth of cabinets. So I knew we had to be getting close.
It's a good number.
But that's a lot of cabinets, man. 1.2 million. And the first few years,
profit,
really
$5.
Yeah. Profit 8,000. But it's just crazy to think about it. That's a lot of cabinets.
Yeah.
That's a lot of drawing and cutting out and putting together and painting and hauling and installing and as far as I know, I could call anybody I've ever done work for right now today and be cordial with them. Some of them I don't like, but we don't have any. Now, a couple of builders, no. I can tell you that.
Yeah, we're not laying a phone call to the builder, but
there's
the
a couple of
homeowner,
builders out there that are done hearing what I have to say. Let's just put it like that.
I hear you. That happens.
But anyway, yep. So that was a big milestone. We probably hit 1 million. I'm guessing June.
Okay.
Somewhere along in there, we just didn't keep up with it. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much the catch up. Don't have a whole lot more going on. Got a lot of work coming. I have to go Monday to measure another house. I mean, just builders just keep giving me houses. Like,
it's a good problem to have, right?
We can do them,
Right.
I had a long talk with him. He actually came in the office the other day. They were down there working on the house, and he came in. And I said, look, man, my promise to you is I'm going to do everything I can to keep everything going. But a lot of it's on Trey. And Trey's going to have to learn a lot of stuff real quick and become proficient at it pretty quick. And he's like, dude, you're going to be, and what he told me was, he said, you're going to be glad you did this. When it's all over and said and done, you're going to be glad you got your foot fixed.
Well, you were also at a point where you were starting to lose your ability to have a choice.
Right. Yeah. It wasn't.
You had sucked up. I mean, when you came here and helped me, I mean, by the time the end of the day was, you were limping pretty well.
Yeah, and it never went away. It's not like I had good days and bad days. I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
So, I had to.
Did it kind of refresh like overnight? Like, did it ease up a little bit, and then
it would ease up like halfway through the day.
Oh, really?
Because they said that's common with Achilles tendonitis is once you get it kind of working and moving and, the blood pumping, it'll kind of ease up. But then as soon as you sit down for an hour, she's there, buddy.
Huh.
And that's kind of how it was. But, I'll be sure to keep, it's going to be a long journey. So I'm going to try not to talk about it too much, but you'll be able to kind of keep up with what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just thankful so far. I mean, you've had very little pain, been able to be off the meds. I mean, first progress report, you switched to a boot, pretty quick, so I mean, hopefully you'll mend well, hopefully
they're thinking I'm going to do pretty good, because I didn't have any pain after the surgery. I mean, like none.
Right.
I mean, very, very little. And they were surprised to hear that. They were like, really? And I said, yeah. But Tammy said, you hurt so bad for 3 years almost that
might be true.
You could have just built up a tolerance for, dealing with little achy pains and stuff. And I said, well, I don't know, but it's done now.
I'd call and be like, hopefully not. And, and every time I call, you're like, no, good so far. I was like, all right, rock on.
It's crazy. But of course, there's a lot of people praying for me too. I mean, I can't just skip right past that and act like they didn't have anything to do with it. Who knows? Who knows why I didn't have pain? Now, I can tell you now, if I stand up, put weight on it, I got all the pain you want, brother. I give you all the pain you want.
Oh, man.
But yeah, I do have some other things after yours that I've got some things I would like to hit on. And
all right, well let's take a little break. We got a little new thing. We're gonna kind of take a little break every so often in the new year. It'll probably be pretty seamless on the user's end, but we're gonna kind of almost segment it. We're gonna pre-plan places for advertisers to eventually to be. So we're gonna go ahead and format in that way. But we're gonna take a little break, and then we'll be right back. All right. Well, that actually ended up being a good little break. Mitch was able to go adjust the heat in the office, which took about 15 to 35 minutes for him to hobble around. He is wearing PJ pants, in case anybody's curious.
I am.
He's got his PJ pants on.
And one sock.
He was somehow able to lift his boot up high enough to get it on camera so I could see it. I believe it's made by Reebok. I'm not quite sure. It did come up and down pretty quick.
Yeah, it ain't going to be up there long. I can tell you that, but.
It sounds painful. It did sound painful listening to him move around. But, I mean, he's working through it.
Yep.
Part of it.
Yep.
Well, I guess I'll give you a little recap. I don't have a whole lot going on. Supposed to be in Alabama right now, but kind of like we mentioned, end of the year closeout, just kind of went a little haywire. Had a job that was at the end of the year that Derek and I tried to figure out every way possible to squeeze it in at the end of the year. We were splitting it up, like he do half, I do half, and it just wasn't going to work. And then kind of looked at the schedule for promised work coming back at the end of the year, and or coming back for the new year. And he was like, well, I'll just do it. And was looking at that calendar. I was like, man, it's going to mess you up, right? He's like, he didn't want to say yeah. But eventually I was like, dude, just be honest with me. He's like, yeah. I said, well, look, mine is not that big of a deal. Let's get this job done. Then I'll go. And then we'll come back and we'll kick back up again, which actually for me ended up being a little bit of a blessing. We were able to do vacation, like Christmas break. We were able to just be on vacation. And because I didn't have a truck, I didn't have any tools. I didn't really have anything. I mean, I took my computer. I did draw the kitchen up, draw the kitchen cabinets up, drew the pantry cabinets up, and kind of talked over some plans. But for the most part, it was downtime. I mean, it was really, some solid downtime, playing games with kids and, doing the Christmas thing. We did get a little hunt in. I took one daughter one morning, took another one the second morning. Then I was kind of done waking up early in the morning,
In the cold.
in the cold. And we were actually more there to see hogs than we were to see deer. My father-in-law's got an amazing farm that in the afternoon they went in the afternoon with him and fed deer. I think the second day the day that Kim and I went, we saw like 45 when we fed them. But that was after we had made like a couple of trips around in the woods, like looking at a couple of things and like set up. He got a camera for Christmas, so we went and set up his camera. And so we had kind of messed them up. The next day, I think Carson said they saw 70 plus.
I mean, I remember that
right there.
Being young, we used to hang out over there. I remember that was a big thing, is watching the deer through the back window.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's got it. He's got it down like you would like it. So I don't know if you know. So you remember there were 4 chicken houses.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he only uses 2 of them now. One of them's torn down, and then the third one is basically a barn. And at the end of it, he has the doors slightly open, a hay bale up against it, and some chairs. That's where you hunt from now. I did have to remind the girls, this is not really hunting because we can still see our car.
Yeah.
It was, I mean, but we were there more for, I did agree that if a 12 point or better came out, that I would shoot him. Because for some reason, my animal loving youngest daughter wants a mounted deer. I don't understand why, because it's kind of weird for her, but she really is like into it. And I was like, well, it's going to have to be Big Pappy for me to pull the trigger on it, because I don't really want to fool with it.
Right. Oh,
But we didn't see it. But the hogs are just tearing up the farm like nobody's business. I don't know if you don't know what wild hogs do, go Google images. It's unreal. It literally, like, most of his land looks like somebody went through there with a broke plow, hooked to a broke Chevy, and then pulled the broke Chevy and the broke plow with an 18-wheeler. Like, it's amazing the damage that they can do. But so we went and sat one night, because they were all coming out at night in this one particular area. And so the girls and I went and sat. We had Papa park the truck in a place where we could use the bed of the truck to kind of be up off the ground and kind of as a windbreak. And the 3 of us sat in the back of the truck. And about midnight, about 12:30, it was on. It was on. Got to hammer down twice. Pretty sure the second one I winged him. It was really hard. It was like 28 degrees. So when I shot, the heat off the muzzle and the it hitting the temperature of the air it was a cloud that I wasn't expecting. It really wasn't. And so as I swung around to kind of pick up another hog, like, I was like, it's a safe direction. There's nothing else there. I'm gonna try.
Yeah.
So I think maybe I won the second one. Not really sure, but it was a good time. It was funny. We were out there, like I said, it got down to like 28 degrees, 26 degrees, something like that. And we were cold sitting there, right? And I was like, hey, if y'all are miserable, tell me. Like, this is supposed to be kind of fun. Like, we're just hanging out together, something to do together, like a story to tell. Now, obviously, if we can kill a hog off the farm, we want to kill one to get rid of it. But like, we're not going to sit here and be miserable. Like, I'm not that mad at them. Like, it's not my farm. I'm not even really that mad at them.
Yeah.
And they were good. And we kind of had a 30-minute rule. Like, we were like, all right, if we go 30 minutes with no signs of anything, well, we said we're going to go till midnight. And then we said, if we go 30 minutes with no signs of anything, we'll pack up and go. Well, it never happened. I mean, we were either hearing coyotes fire off. We could hear hogs behind us. We could kind of see deer movement. Like, we always had something going to kind of keep us going. Yeah. But what's so funny is after we shot, we all realized that we kind of been all running on some adrenaline rush. They'll wait for something to come out, because as soon as I shot, we were all instantly frozen. I mean, it was like, it was instantaneous. I mean,
why are we here?
Could not get to the car and get crank started up fast enough. I mean, it was so weird. But it was a good time. Good time with the girls. You know, I mean,
They'll
dad,
remember it.
yeah, girl dads. We don't get to do some of all the hunts and everything, but they go with me. I think they enjoy it. I think that they think that they're doing me a favor. I think that I'm doing them a favor. I don't know
Mhm.
I don't really know how the balance is working out, but it's a good time.
You know, you'll remember a hunt even if it's bad.
Oh
Even
yeah,
if you don't see anything, they'll remember going out there with daddy and sitting on the farm, and now your
yeah,
grandkids will hear about it, and all that. And so it'll be
yeah.
worth it. It's still worth doing.
It was fun. Yeah, got some video Kim up on the tractor with her daddy again, like she was 7.
Yeah.
Riding
Yeah.
around and going and feeding the deer again. Like I was like, oh, I said, if you were a real farm girl, you'd be in the bucket, not sitting on the seat. You know,
I don't see that happening.
no, I tried to get her to ride on the bucket in the bucket. There was because he had to put the corn buckets in the front end loader. I was like, just sit on a bucket, ride. But what he told me, he said, so they went out of the back of the chicken house. They said, well, meet us down there, take a couple of pictures of us. I was like, okay. I mean, a little dad daughter moment. Happy to. Well, I told you the setup. The door's open about this far, and there's a hay bale. Well, it's an old farm, and I don't know if the doors move or not, if they'll fall off or not. So I
Yeah.
just climbed over the hay bale, and then they come back in, and I didn't want to walk all the way around again, so I climbed back in over the hay bale. And her dad thought that was the funniest thing. He's like, the door's open. I was like, well, it'd be nice to know. And I thought he was gonna fall out. He's like, he goes, I'm sorry. And I don't think the man's ever apologized to me for anything ever in my
Yeah,
life. And
I can see that.
it was a legit, I'm sorry that I didn't tell you could open the doors. So I just didn't know. So I crawled in, crawled out, but
Well, it sounds
not
like
as young as I used to be.
Oh man, tell me about it,
I
buddy.
used to could jump a hay bale pretty easy. There was a little bit of grunting going on.
Mm-hmm. And you're sitting there trying not to make it look like you're struggling
Right.
in front of your kids. You're like, oh, I
Right.
got it. I got it. You hit
I
the
got
ground. You're like,
I'm good. Dad's too young. Don't worry about it.
I can't move tomorrow.
But yeah, so so did the break, and then had a job that we wrapped up right before we left. Really got a phone call. I think the day we were leaving town, and like the finishers finished, and they're like, "We're ready for doors and knobs." And I was like, "Okay, so I guess I'm not going to start on the new job on the 3rd because today was my first day back at work because we didn't home till yesterday."
Yeah.
I was like, well, I guess I'll go do doors and knobs today. And I went and did a consult today for a baseball. It's a baseball like pavilion type kind of thing, like almost like an indoor practice thing
Okay.
for the school. And he wants this like locker room / hangout area in there for the guys. Like he wants the boys to be able to come off the baseball field like from a game or during a game and come in, and like he's got like these couches in this one little corner, and one parents offered to do a bunch of flat screens, and then so he wants some kind of combination locker room hangout area.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think he's got the budget for me to do it.
Oh.
So we're gonna see. I mean, because he threw out like, I don't have like 30 grand for this. And I'm like, it's 100 feet of a wall. I mean,
Oh, yeah,
we're doing
well.
40. I mean, we're talking about 40 lockers or space for 40 players over 100-foot span.
No
I'm
chance.
just kind of quickly doing the math on it. I'm like, I just don't think you got. And I was like, so do you want a divider between like each person? Oh yeah. Just like a 2x4, just I'm like, I don't do 2x4s. Okay. What are you talking about? Like, I'm not a framer.
2x4.
So it may not be the job for me, but
yeah.
What we went and looked but then got that one wrapped up today. She was super stoked. Finished that laundry room in a big old, that was the one that I had asked you about all the details for vanity because that had the sink in it and it came out supreme perfect.
You've already made that?
Uh-huh.
Oh, you know what, man? I'm sick of you.
What do
How
you
do
mean?
you go from that was like 2 days ago?
No, dude, we haven't recorded in 2 weeks.
Yeah, but you asked me that over the phone.
Oh, no. That was when I was talking. No, what I was asking you about was for the farmhouse sink. That was for mother-in-law's remodel.
Okay.
This is the one that we went over like vanity basics on the podcast. We went over like
Oh, okay.
vanity, some steadfast rules for vanity building on the
Okay.
podcast. That one. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I was
No,
about to say, dude, that was like 2 days ago. You don't got that thing built and put in.
I
How much you
wish.
want an hour?
I wish. Oh, that would be amazing. I do have to give it kind of my last little thing I wanted to kind of go with is because I know you got some other stuff that I'm going to piggyback off of, but yep, that tool just gone.
Come on, man. Come on.
You know what it is? It's the stupid door handle jig.
True position jig.
True position jig. Clutch
Yes.
tool. I mean, it's just take your time, set it up.
Yep.
Take your time and set it up. Now, it did bite me in the butt a couple of weeks ago. I didn't have it, so my rule is, and I think we may have talked about this before, but my rule is always put the screws in the knob and then through the jig to set your distance for your knob holes.
Yep.
Don't do the tape measure thing. Don't put a tape measure on the handle and go, well, they're 5 inches, and then make it 5 inches. Why? There's error there. There's potential for error.
Yep.
But do make sure that you're centered.
Yes.
So I had one here not too long ago. I wasn't paying attention, and I had my left and my right. I was locked in, but I didn't have it centered. So then when I measured off of that, I was not centered on the door when I drilled my first hole.
Oh.
So there is some potential for human error, but that's why I say get your setup right.
Yep.
If you are going to, if you got, let's just do easy math. Let's say you got 10 doors. 8 doors are one way and 2 doors are another way. Put a piece of tape or something on those doors that are different of where you want the knobs to be for that one. And then that way, when you hold the true position jig up there, you go, wait a second, why is that piece of tape there? Because you don't want to drill through a finished door.
Yeah.
That sucks. Especially when you're not a finisher. You got to take the door, you got to go patch it, you got to go take it to a finisher to get it fixed. It's a whole other thing. So do something to block yourself from drilling a wrong door with your setup. But it's just amazing. I mean, because it's I mean, you could do your left door, you flip it, right door, boom, left door, right door. Just I mean, you can really pound them out. Check your screws in between. I do. Between sets. I don't do it between every door, but when I move from one set to the next set, I just finger check the screws. I mean,
yep. And what I do is once I get it set up, I take my Nipex pliers, my small pliers, and I just barely tweak them. I mean, just an eighth of a turn past hand tight.
Yeah.
And what we're talking about, some of you may not know, there's a jig that holds that lines you up for drilling holes for putting the hardware on, which
there's a bunch of them. There's a bunch of them.
Yeah. True position is the Cadillac of them all. Now, Charlie used to make wooden jigs for every size door, every size handle, and I was like, we ain't doing this, buddy.
Yeah.
And they're made out of plywood, and after 10 holes, they're wallered out, and you could be, no, we're not doing that. Now, I will tell you that True Position has these little points that you put in the bushings, and they center into the handle holes. So to keep you from having to screw them in, they're just points that go in there. And they actually have a few different accessories on the website that don't come with the jig.
Oh, really?
So yeah, go in there and look around, because now don't buy the drill bits from there. Those 5mm drill bits, go to Amazon, and I can send you a link to some really good ones.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But yeah, True Position, I love it, dude. I love that. You got to be mindful and set it up right. But
take your time. Take your time in the
it.
setup. If you will take the 2-3 extra minutes in the setup, you will fly through drilling doors. Yep. I mean, you really will, But you got to make sure you're doing all alike doors at one time.
Yep. and different height drawer fronts. I go through and I get all my standard heights, and then I get all my next level of height. But you always have that one like under the oven or under a microwave is the one that'll get you.
Yeah.
Because a microwave tells you it's got to be a certain height, and whatever's left is that drawer.
Right.
So we do all the oddballs first, and then we get it all down to where basically I can't screw it up, and then we just kind of go, But yeah, I put tape on them, and different size hardwares. We would put it where it goes. Like each room maybe would have a different size hardware. We lay it out.
Yeah.
So when I go in there, I'll see it. But I've misdrilled, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 doors. And I think a couple of them were before I had the jig. The one time the jig got me, I was doing an overhead door. You have to hold it up against the bottom of the door. And I didn't have it up. I had it down.
I've had that do me. When I first got the jig, I did that to myself. And then the one where I forgot that I didn't have it centered in the thing. And then I had the long arm in it. And obviously, I'm not at 0 anymore.
We can put that under the useful install tools category. For sure.
I don't know. That and make your own little 1/2-inch overlay jig. I'm telling you.
Yep.
It way faster than any kind of Craig thing I've ever bought or anything. Just 1/4-inch piece of MDF, a 1/2-inch piece of MDF, and another 1/4-inch piece of MDF, and offset them bad boys and throw a clamp on it. It's so stupid easy.
Yep. Those jigs
break it or whatever, you just make another one.
Yep. Dude, we got literally thousands of jigs here. Just everywhere you go, there's jigs hanging up and stuff. And I like that. We don't use a lot of them that Charlie used, but I'll leave them hanging up because I like the way it looks, Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. But, other than that, let's just go ahead and get this one. There's one mountain in the room that we just might as well face up. And, Michigan got us.
I wasn't going to bring it up
before we get heavy cabinet deep, and let's just go ahead and talk about it because I've already got the social media blow ups and all that stuff. Good game though. Did you watch? I doubted that you watched.
Did not watch.
But, so my prediction was either a battle or we would blow them out. I didn't see them blowing us out. But if it went to a battle, I really didn't know how it would go. And that's exactly what we got. We got a battle for the entire game and into one round of overtime, and Michigan was able to score, and we weren't able to answer it. So now we have Michigan and Washington, which is going to be a terrible game. Michigan should just absolutely destroy Washington.
Yeah.
I was hoping Texas would go. At least since Texas beat us, that they would go all the way. And they couldn't get it done against Washington. They lost pretty significantly. I think by 10 or maybe a little bit more. I fell asleep. I couldn't stay awake that long. And we were driving back the next day, so I didn't really want to stay up that late.
Yep.
But yeah, so now we got Michigan and Washington, and I'm not going to watch it because I don't like either one of them.
Me either.
So I'm not giving them a rating from my house. No rating points from my house.
Hey.
Yeah.
Well.
Because the last thing I want to do is watch Harbaugh. I hate Michigan. And Washington's just going to embarrass themselves. So, but anyway, good game for Michigan. But hey, look, I've been a Roll Tide fan for a long time.
We have to get used to the adjustment of losing a game. You get it? You know what I'm saying?
It's weird. It is weird. It's it's almost like an out of body experience. Like I'll wake up the next morning and I'll be like, did that game?
I can't believe we actually lost.
That was the game yesterday. The game's not today. Like it was yesterday and we lost? Yes. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Also,
Roll Tide Willie says they didn't blitz enough,
Yeah.
Blitz, Bama blitz.
Yeah. It was a good game. Michigan had us at first. They did. Their defense was playing lights out. We couldn't do jack. And then made some adjustments and had a good comeback, had a good second half, but at least it was a good game. I both teams played, and hey, for all you people out there that want to forget, they're college kids. Let's not forget that. I know they're getting paid, and it's a semi-pro level and all this stuff. But they're still kids. Like at the end of the day, they make stupid mistakes. They do some stupid things because they're kids. They're still learning things out. So even though we're getting entertainment out of it, that's don't forget that they're just kids. Some of them
youngins.
Yeah, some of them were still living with their mom and daddy last year. I mean,
Yeah.
give them a break,
Yeah.
you know. But anyway, so I just wanted to go ahead and just tackle that, get it.
Yeah, there you go.
And we'll handle that. But
You had something on the notes I was going to ask you about. Now, I hope you remember.
all right,
Gas station etiquette.
man, I am so stinking glad that you asked me about that.
Well, let's do it.
I
'Cause I want
really
to know
am.
what that is.
I want to know, when in the world did it become acceptable to, one, not pull forward in the gas pump?
Mm.
Okay. I mean, all right. So my pump, my gas door's on the left hand side of my car. I pull into the pump, and instead of stopping at the one that I come to first, I pull forward so that somebody behind me can do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
When did that stop? And I thought it was an age thing. I really thought, okay, it's the younger generation doing it. No, it's not. It's everybody. It's from probably shouldn't be driving to probably shouldn't be driving age range. Like, I don't get it.
Well, I think a lot of people are losing their ability to self-govern. That's something that I preach to my kids constantly, is you have to govern yourself. And I don't know if they just don't pay attention, or they don't care, or they don't know. It's hard to believe they didn't know, because I guarantee you, if you would have done that, they would have been mad, right? They'd be like, why don't you just move up? Golly.
And I want to say something, but I don't want to be a Karen, but I want to be like, have you ever thought about like pulling forward so that the next person could get gas?
Yeah.
Because if you don't, you're going to be mad. And then somebody's going to come in front of you, and then you are going to be mad.
Mm-hmm.
Because they pulled in, and they're going to be on the opposite side. Like, just pull forward.
Yeah, the only thing I'll say is, if I show up to a gas station and there's 10 pumps and half of them are empty, and a gas burner pulls up to like the only diesel pump that we're allowed to have,
right?
And they're sitting there pumping gas, I'll get out before. If I catch them before, I'll be like, hey, do you mind going to the next one? Because that's the only diesel pump,
Yeah.
And I've never had any trouble with it. They're like, oh, yeah, you know.
Well, I was at the gas station one day, and I had the trailer hooked up. Gas station's wrapped up, and kind of this gas station, it really just makes sense just to go all the way to the end, And I was sitting there, and this guy like knocked on my window, and he's like, hey, you're blocking me. And he was actually parked in a parking spot to go in the store, which is my second point. If you're going to go in the store, that's where you go.
Yeah.
Don't leave your stuff sitting in the aisles at the pumps.
Nope.
We want to get gas.
Pump and
We
go.
want you to leave. Get out of the way. And why are you still going and putting $10 on a pump inside?
Oh, those people.
Just swipe your card. Just swipe your card and stop it at 10.
Yeah.
I don't get it. But anyway, the guy knocked on my door. He's like, hey, man, he's like, I got to get back for shift. Like, I got to get clocked back in. He's like, and you got me blocked. And he kind of gave me this weird look. He's like, I said, well, which one are you? Which car are you? And he goes, I'm in this Jeep. And I was like, okay, well, I just want to know how far. I didn't want to overly pull forward.
Yeah.
Because I still was trying to like not leave that pump, because I was having it was full, and I didn't want to have to pull forward and miss my turn. And I did end up having to make a full circle to let him out, which, I mean, so be it. If somebody pulled up there and got gas while I was trying to let him get back to work, then, it'd been fine. But the people that just park their car now, I will get gas. I will run inside and go get something and come back out while I'm pumping gas. I got no problem with that. Be multitasking, because I pretty much walk out with my soda and my chips and go click, and I'm putting the pump back up, not leave it there like it's a parking spot,
Right. Yeah.
Oh,
you messed the whole flow up, man. The people got to flow. They got to flow.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's just an extreme lack of consideration for other people in this world. It's unreal how self-absorbed the society is getting, and it's just getting worse. But it's just the inability to look up and go, oh yeah, I'm probably inconveniencing everybody. And there's this one. I was there one day, and this lady was there. I don't know what she was doing. I honestly don't. She was blocking a gas pump. She was not getting gas. She had about 50 jugs in her car and was using the water faucet at the pumps to fill all these water jugs up.
Hey.
No idea. I mean, like everything from like a milk jug to like a bleach bottle. And then once she come around with a cooler, just a cooler, and put it underneath the faucet and fill that entire cooler up. I don't know if she doesn't have water at home and she was getting some, I don't know.
Something going on. Golly.
But, yeah. It was weird.
People are amazing, ain't they?
And I really wanted to ask. I really did.
Yeah,
just
oh,
out of
yeah,
curiosity.
Yeah, like, hey, what are you
I
doing?
have to ask, what are you doing? You do know this is a gas station, right? Like,
It's not a water station.
now there is a spot leaving the shop and going to the interstate. Every so often I'll see it's the same guy every time, and he's got like the big water jugs you put on like top of the cooler things, like you
Yeah,
gotta flip them over.
yeah.
He's got like 5 or 6 of those, and he's backed into this little offshoot on the road. He's filling those up off of this little spring off the side of the hill. Like it's just
He's
a
probably
natural.
drinking it.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I mean, I'm sure
Yeah.
it's good, but he's just right there. I see him, I've seen him a couple of times. Same guy, same car, same jugs. And he's right there.
You ought to
underneath
go
that
to there
natural
and like,
flow.
you ought to go like test your toilet water, like before you flush it with one of those test strips, and then just
Right.
leave it down there. You'll find it, be like, man, I've been drinking this crap.
That's if he knows. If he knows what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was one of those that I was like, oh, we gotta, it has nothing to do with cabinets or anything, but it just burns me
trying
up.
to see. Let's see. Oh,
Well, I tell you what, take you a look at the list. Let's take a little break while you review the list, and then we'll come back and we'll pick it up at the new topic.
sounds good. Y'all stand by.
Standing by. Well, we appreciate you guys giving us a little break so we can talk with our sponsors. And let them.
Yeah. We got to handle a little business sometimes. You know what I'm saying? I went out and made a cabinet. I don't know what you did while we were on break, but
I made another vanity.
yeah, I mean, we just whip them. It don't take nothing. It's just a box, right?
Yeah, it's just about. It's amazing how fast a sponsor can tell us no too. Like I don't.
Yeah.
We didn't really need that whole. We didn't really need that whole break to be denied.
They don't have to be rude about it. Is all I'm saying.
Right? I mean, they could just not answer a phone call. That'd be easier.
I don't know where my Benford Tools
Uh-oh.
magnet went.
You
I
lost
probably
your
knocked it off
magnet?
with my boot a while back or something.
It's probably in your boot.
Yeah.
We'll find it at the next.
I'll find it later. Hey, Benford.
Well, where you want to go? What you want to talk about? You want to talk about like some actual work type stuff now? I mean, are we caught up from the break?
Yeah, we'll talk about. So I want to kind of cover social media, and then we'll get into something that you got on the way, and something that I'm probably going to have on the way soon.
Yeah, and a present that I got in that same category. Remember I told you about that one?
Yeah.
So
I've been doing a little bit more TikToks and a little bit more Reels, and I was just surprised at the fact that Facebook sends me a notification that says my Reel got over 900 views.
Yeah.
And here I am with, I don't know how many friends I have, 250, 300 friends on Facebook. And these things are getting 900 views. Yeah. And actually on the TikTok of the doors, the dark stained doors, and it's if you're on TikTok or whatever, it's Cat Scratch Cabinets. On Facebook, I share it under my name for right now. That's going to change, but
You have 122 followers on Instagram.
On Instagram, yeah. See, I don't,
Mm-hmm.
So it's neat to me to be able to tell. And if you're not into that, that's fine. But it's kind of crazy that you make, this little video. And I do it on TikTok first because it's easier to edit and put the sound in and whatever effects you want. And then I just make it a reel,
Yep.
So it's super easy to do. But man, at the views you can get, just doing some simple reels. And I may do a post and not have a whole lot of likes or engagement, but you do a reel and now you're 700, 800, 900 people watching it, and it's crazy.
You have 54 followers on TikTok.
Yeah. See, and I don't know how I'm getting on Facebook reels. I don't know how I'm getting 700, 800, 900 views.
Well, it's because the algorithm. Yeah, well, the algorithm. So when you're scrolling like Instagram, right? Like you'll get to a section that's just got a reel that'll catch your attention, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's kind of like a YouTube spider web. So like you'll click on that, and then next thing you know, you're scrolling through. So Instagram just takes your reel and it throws it out there. But a post doesn't get thrown out there like that. A post, because there's no real algorithm to throw a post out for somebody to see. But those reels, they just get thrown in, and somehow the algorithm sorts it out to people who they think that it might be interested in it. And once it starts gaining likes, it changes the algorithm of it,
moves it
and
up.
It gets pushed out to different directions in things that are like in common with what they liked. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's almost like, you remember back in the day when TiVo came out, like the first like DVR thing, and they're like, well, it'll learn what you like. Like you set it to record, and then it'll go out and find things that it thinks that you will like as well.
Yeah.
That's really all Instagram. That's really what Instagram does, is it takes that same algorithm and tries to find you things that that you're searching for, or that you're spending time on. If you're spending time like on videos that have dogs in them, then you're probably not going to get many cat videos. Like, if you're with a bunch of animals, then you're probably just going to get a bunch of animal videos. Like it's weird.
And I'm going to play around with the hashtags too, because I think the hashtags might play in with the algorithm. Like if all of your videos have hashtag funny cat, then maybe it'll start looking for videos with that hashtag, and
so I have
start showing you
in notes. I have one of my notes is let me see where it's at. Anyway, it's just hashtags. So I come in and I copy all those hashtags.
Oh, that's how you do it. Okay.
And then I repost them every time. So it's the same hashtags I use every time, because I think it only lets you use 13 hashtags. I might be incorrect on that. But I come into notes, I copy those, paste them in every time.
Well, I talked to the guy at the door plant. He actually asked me about water-based finish because he was painting doors or something for a friend of his. I don't know. But anyway, I told him, I said, you know what? I had a lady from the door plant commented on the TikTok and said, I helped make those doors.
That's cool.
And so she followed me, and I was like, dude, that's great. I said, man, y'all do an awesome job with it. They look really good and all this stuff. And I told him, I said, it was neat to see somebody from your door plant get on there and leave a comment, because that's why I'm doing it. I want them to see it. I wish they could see all that, and because that's their work. They make, those really nice doors. And he said, dude, I remember that, because she was going around with everybody. She said, I bet he said, I bet we got 100 plays right here. Because she was going, hey, remember those altar doors that came in a few weeks ago? Look,
Yeah.
And he said, just seeing everybody light up, because we don't ever get to see the finished cabinet. It's just doors all day, every day, So I was like, it's really neat. And social media, with its problems, it can also, spread joy, and it can also, give people a sense of pride in what they do,
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, I'm not looking to make a living off of reels, because then if I got to where I didn't have to make cabinets, I wouldn't have anything to put on the reels. But it's neat to see kind of how that stuff grows, and just kind of gets thrown all in. It was just crazy to me how
I just like seeing my numbers go up. Like I don't know why I get some kind of satisfaction. I get out of seeing the followers grow.
Mm-hmm.
And the reality is those followers don't really turn into customers. They really don't. But it's almost like, well, while I can't build something for everybody, I did create something that people are liking. Like they're enjoying the video, they're enjoying the work, and I'm getting gratification out of that.
Yeah, exactly.
That they're enjoying a product. I mean, even though I didn't build it, I still made it.
Yeah,
I made the reel, or I made the TikTok, and I get satisfaction out of the follow.
Yeah, and I'm not one of these. I don't like the clickbait stuff, and I bought the cheapest nail gun on Amazon. I don't, and that generates a lot of views. Don't get me wrong,
right?
But that's not the audience I want. I don't think. I think I'm more interested in an audience of fellow makers and customers and people like that can go, hey, this guy right here, he made our cabinets. This is the guy who made our cabinets. There's a woman on there that does home decor, and she lives a couple miles down the road. I did her cabinets, and it is featured in every one of her TikToks. She's like, here's what I like to do for my cabinets over Christmas, and this is why I like having glass doors at the top. And she was showing like her spice pull out and things, and she's doing it from, I'm a home decorator. This is kind of what I want to do.
Yeah.
But I'm sitting back going, I built, she's got, I don't know, 10,000 people that follow her, and they're all sitting there looking at, my cabinets and stuff. So it's a neat thing.
And I'm going to give you a guy. Well, I guess I'm going to give everybody a guy that I think you should follow. So follow Broken Compass Woodworks. Write that down. Broken Compass Woodworks. This guy's named Kyle. He's a Nashvilleian. He's a local guy that I bump into fairly regular. Hi, hop along. Don't worry about my soundproof studios. Just the dog trying to go pee. Loudest toenails in the world. But I actually really enjoy Kyle's stories. I just find his demeanor, and the things that he says during his stories, I find them funny and I find them useful. But he's a woodworker. He's a craftsman, but he's not just cabinets guy either. Like he had this like bout with a handrail for a Nashville hotel, and like just watching him like try to figure out how to recreate this one section of a handrail to match the rest of the handrail for this elevator I enjoyed it. There's a few people out there that, and I guess because I know him too, that there's an added, that I like watching him.
Mm-hmm.
But he's kind of a calming person to watch, that even though, there's some chaos going on in his shop too, like you can tell, but he just kind of handles it. And it's like, oh, if I could handle it like that, I'd be all right.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's like, Ingalls Coach Shop. And there's a guy up in Montana that restores these old 1800s, wagons and all this, but he does everything, man, from the steel tires to redoing the spokes and the rims and the hubs, and just watching a master like that go in and work, and he's just doing it, man. He's not sitting around trying to tell you, I don't know how I'm going to do this, and all that. He just does it, dude, and it's amazing to watch him. Man, WD-40.
Well, loud, isn't it?
So that was it. Are you done with that?
Yeah, but while we're right here, I want to ask you something real quick.
Hit me with it.
Did you do any New Year's resolutions?
No.
No?
Nope.
Because the reason I ask is one thing I said with Kyle was that one of my New Year's resolutions is to kind of try to stop letting the small stuff bother me so bad. Like be more of which you're pretty good at that, but I'm trying to be more of a duck and let it roll off my back.
Yeah.
It didn't start so well today, but I'm
trying.
We'll see. Technically, day one, first day of work.
You got to start somewhere, though, man. You got to start somewhere.
Well, it got me. So I'll kind of tell you what got me, and let me see what you would have said. So the whole thing about going and doing these doors and everything was like after I had the trailer loaded, like we were gone. So like nothing was prepped for today, really. And part of it was hanging a clothes rod. And I had a rod left over from another job, black rod. Well, for some reason, I don't know about down there in your area, but black rod holders are like impossible to find. Last time I'd order them. But anyway, so I go to all the locals, can't find one. So I text Derek. I was like, I guess we're going to have to order a black rod holder. I can't find one. He goes, well, I got one here at the shop. I was like, oh, okay. I said, well, I'm going to my shop to load up and get stuff, and then I'll head to the customer's house. And he goes, well, are you going to come out here and get this one? And I'm like, I'm not really planning on it because your shop is an hour in the wrong direction than from me. Actually, an hour, probably 15. Nashville traffic. It's morning time. So I'm going to burn a bunch of time. You're in the wrong direction of the client. Now you're probably 30, 45 minutes from the client. So now we're talking about 2.5 hours to go pick up this item. I was like, no, I'm not really. And so I was like, and I really got frustrated by it. I was like, really? Like, no, I don't want to do that. And then I looked at one more Lowe's that was closer to me, and they had one. I was like, oh, finally.
Yeah.
But the whole going around the world just to pick up this little $5 item was not sitting well with me today.
Oh,
I was like, I don't want to do that, But,
well, listen.
But I feel like I carry those little things way too long.
Yeah, well, I mean, you could. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's up to you to decide that. But I got really frustrated today, and I can't get too much into it. But there's a customer that they didn't know what they want. This job's been going on. We've been talking about it since June, May, April, somewhere along in there. Just told me like last week and a half ago that they wanted their master vanity stained. And I was like, okay, well, that's going to cost you more. And not only that, I had the drawings done. So now I'm going back and I'm making this, side panel out of 1/2-inch maple ply instead of birch. And I'm making the front stain grade maple. And now your face frame list gets broken up. You got a different kind of wood, and it's just yada, yada, yada.
Right.
And so I went in there and I went all the way back, and I had notes. I said the crown is 4 5/8 tall. And so I did 3 5/8 from the ceiling, went through it. And that's a lot of cabinets. A lot of cabinets go up to the ceiling. You're talking pantry, you're talking refrigerator, and 3 overheads, big overheads.
Yeah.
So I told the middleman, we'll call him, I said, hey, we need to verify this crown and make sure it's what it is, because I've got it set at 4 5/8 because I got 3 5/8, from the top of the cabinet to the ceiling, which gives me a 1-inch overhang on the crown. He's like, well, that should be it. And I said, well, let's ask. Well, come to find out, they sent me a message today, this morning. All the drawings are done. The door lists are done. The face frames are done. Everything is done, printed out for this job. It's 5 1/8 height.
Right.
And I said, well, that's not what you guys sent me. Yeah, but back in July, whenever we picked all that stuff out, they didn't have any, so we had to go bigger. And I said, do you realize what would have happened if I put all these cabinets in and you guys had to change the size of the crown? And remember, it's continuous, right? It's coming from the living room, going in the kitchen, over the cabinets, and back out. And I said, it would have been an absolute disaster because it would have either hit the doors at the top or you guys would have had to change crown. And she was like, oh, yeah, good thing. And just the nonchalant, and I can tell you more about this person off the podcast, but just the whole, I don't really care, whatever, kind of attitude. And I'm already done with them.
Right.
I'm already done with this job, and we haven't cut the first piece out, and I'm done. I'm over it. I'm like, just a bunch of stuff has happened where there's no communication. And I told the middleman, I was like, hey, I sent them drawings. I have what they said they wanted. That's what they're getting. And if they change their mind now, we're talking thousands, and I'm going to financially ruin them if they want me to go fix something.
Right.
Because I've had it, And it's just, and he knows I'm at that point now. He's like, I get it, dude. I get it. And I'm like, I'm telling you, I'm not dealing with it. So it's okay. Like I get frustrated and, but my thing is though, I try not to let that spill over into, like how I treat the lady at the burger joint or something. You know what I'm saying? That's the hardest thing to do, is to keep all that separate, I think. Because I get mad. I threw a nail gun against the door. Against the wall in here. Like I can really lose my temper and mess some stuff up quick, but I just try not to,
Well,
Barstow get to him.
I'm about to cramp out. I'm about to have a leg lock cramp here in just a few minutes.
Well, let's go over this one because I found something today.
The standing podcast.
Yeah. I thought about getting one of them lifting desks, but anyway.
Yeah. Let's see you stand up.
Yeah, I can't really stand up now. So I have a note on there called electronics, and Facebook has been killing me with this ad. Remember, we talked about a book.
Yeah.
Right? So Facebook has been killing me with this ad called Remarkable.
No way.
Yeah.
No way.
See, I told you, it's all over the place, dude.
No way.
It's
Did you
all
buy
over
one?
the place. No. Mm-mm.
That's what I bought. That's what I have coming.
That is
what I have coming.
I saw your face. Well, let me know because I opted out of it.
Dude, I'm stoked about it. It'll be here Friday. I am so stoked for this thing to get here.
So what this is basically it's an electronic paper notepad that you can go in there and write notes and whatever. You can do drawings and type, and it does all kinds of stuff.
And it syncs to your computer, so it does like a cloud backup.
Well, that's why I didn't get it. That is what kept me from pulling it. Because, dude, I was ready to. Well, I kind of feel like
the cheddar.
Yeah, I kind of feel like they're sticking it to you a little bit with the pen. I wasn't excited about the pen because they only give you 2 options.
Yeah,
and apparently you have to have one, which I don't know how true that is. But
now there is a typing keyboard that you can get, but the design is that it's pen based.
Yeah. So I actually, it's funny because I opted out of it, and
that's funny. What about the cloud based turned you off?
Because it's $8 a month, and then I watched 20 videos on it today, dude.
Yeah,
and they were like, you have to save it as a document in the notepad, and then it converts it to a PDF. Then you have to take it and put it up into the cloud. And then when you get on your computer, you have to bring it down out of the cloud onto your computer. And then if you want to make it a JPEG or something like that, it's just super convoluted to do because it exports everything as a PDF.
Okay.
And then if you want to change the PDF, you basically have to make a copy of the original in the file folder, change it, and then it just keeps like making copies of it. And I was like, I kind of got scared, and I was like, I don't know about that.
I'll see how complicated it is there in that realm.
I will hold off then on what I was going to buy.
I ordered it from the company, so it's got like a 60-day trial or whatever. But I think also, if I remember right, the cloud is included in the first year.
Yeah.
Like for the first year, and then I thought it was only like $2.99 a month.
I think there's a $3. Yeah, I think there's a $3 a month that'll kind of get you to where you can do that. But so you're getting it right. So you can go to the job site, draw, take notes, bring it back, either work from the notepad or put it on your computer, and you can have it up there while you're doing your drawings. You can pull it up. So that was my idea, and I saw it because they are advertising the crap out of that thing on Facebook, and it's blowing up right now.
One of the guys that I was on the HOA board, who was a realtor, he had one, and that was what he used. And I kind of looked at it a little bit with him, but that was what he used for like all of his client meetings and everything. He's like, I don't type very well. He's like, but I can write it, and he literally just wrote notes. And you can also there's a feature, I don't know how good it is, but it will take whatever you write and it will convert it to a typed document.
Text.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I decided on as of right now, depending on what you say,
All right.
but what I decided on was for same money / little less money, I can get a Generation 10 iPad, and it has the notes out because we need
Right.
a template, right? We need a
Right.
grid background.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But what I'm thinking is, I don't have to have one with cellular data, but I do have to get one with Wi-Fi. And I go and I do all my note taking, whatever.
Yeah.
And then I can take it in here. It joins the Wi-Fi, and I can just email it to myself or whatever the case is.
You can
over
go to
Wi-Fi.
iCloud.com and log in on like through your web browser, and you can pull up your notes
Okay, yeah, on
through there.
the computer. So
Yeah.
that's kind of what I was. That's my only thing is
And
same money, little less money. I can do that.
now with the iPad, because we put this on Taylor's for the engineering stuff, there is a screen protector that you can get that gives it the texture of paper.
Yeah,
It takes away
I
that
saw
glass. She loved it. She absolutely loves it for the writing aspect. But it takes
Now,
away that slick glass feeling. Like it
let's
gives it.
right, and that's what drew me to the paper looking,
Yeah.
notepad. Is I like the idea because, dude, I've got this thing here, and I'm constantly just flipping through. What page was it on? It was back
Yeah.
here, and then I can leave this in my truck. And now that I'm crippled, I got to crutch all the way out there and get it and
Yeah.
bring it in. What page was that on? I could have swore I took that note.
Which notebook did I do it in? Is it in this one or is it in the brown one?
Right. And so it seems like if I had something electronic and then immediately when I got back, I could upload it to the computer as whatever kind of file. And then when I'm doing the drawings, I can just click on the notes and I can say, oh, yes, you got a farm sink, or, oh, yeah, they want to do this in this room and that in that room. So it's pretty neat, but I'm interested in the Remarkable.
So you want me to tell you why I didn't do an iPad?
Yeah.
And it's just me. This is a 100% me. Sorry, I had to sit back down. My legs are tired. I'm ADD enough as it is. I have enough distractions going on and can't hold attention. The Remarkable only does what the Remarkable does. I can't decide to pull up Facebook or decide to pull up YouTube or something else. And the other big thing was because, in conjunction with that, is because the Remarkable is in that black and white technology world. The battery is supposed to last like 2.5, 3 weeks.
Yeah. Yep.
Whereas I could just see that I got on the iPad last night. I watched a bunch of YouTube videos, forgot to charge it, and I'm at the customer's house and go, shit, I ain't got no. I mean, now I'm back to a pen and paper because I forgot to charge the iPad.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was kind of my thing, was that this will be for this, and I'll only use it for this, and I can't vary off into other worlds on this device.
Yeah.
But that's me, because I can get very.
I love the Remarkable. I'm a little bit mad at them because they stick it to you a little bit on the price for what it is.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe it's super durable. Maybe you just can't tear it up. Maybe, I don't know. But if you can get the stuff from the Remarkable to your computer without too much of an effort, and I mean, I don't want to have to freaking log in and passwords and this and that and everything all the time, then I may revert back to it. So it's going to be interesting because I don't know anything about an iPad, but I'm thinking with just little doodles like what we're going to be doing and taking notes, you're not talking about a lot of memory.
No, you're talking. Not. I mean, the iPad will carry you for sure.
I mean, I can get a 64 gigabit iPad and I could put probably 20 years worth of work on the thing, without. And with the iPad, another thing I thought is I could snap pictures.
That is the advantage, that you do have a camera. Yep.
Yeah, and I can take stud pictures or plumbing pictures or something,
See, Derek does that. He uses an iPad.
Yeah.
At client things.
Yeah, but you're talking, dude, I can get a brand new Generation 10 iPad for $350.
Yeah.
So I
did the Remarkable 2. I did the Type Folio. So it's like the case that has a keyboard.
Mm-hmm.
Because it wasn't very much difference. I did the Marker Plus, and I'm in it for $688.
Yeah.
That's
That's
from
That's a lot of
from the
money for a
company.
notepad.
It is. I mean, it is.
But that you could lose $688 by not having notes and thinking you remember something and building a
Yeah.
cabinet wrong. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot of money, but is it a lot of money? You know what I mean? Like for the business,
Well, and I'm hoping it's something that like I can do like a cheat sheet and I can copy and paste and like keep using. There's some things I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna burn through that trial period and see. I mean, I may hate it.
Yeah. Well, I
don't
mean,
know.
I'll hold off then and see because I don't
That's
want to buy
hilarious though
used.
that you looked at that.
I know it, dude. I know it. And I don't know about buying a used iPad. Like I don't trust these people like that.
Yeah, you just want to make sure it is unlocked.
Right. And so, then you got to do that. And I figured if you just get a new one, I don't know anything about them, but I'm
Yeah.
assuming you get a new one and that's it. I mean, there's no cellular to deal with because I don't need that. And that'll keep me off of YouTube and Netflix and all that crap, while I'm out measuring jobs.
Yeah.
So, and I had to make that conscious decision because of the distraction. Now, I would rather have the Remarkable if I could get it for the same price and then just easily get my files over to the PC.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll see how easy that transfer thing is, and I'll bring it down with me when I come. I'll bring it with me.
Yeah.
But I just know, like, even going to the notes on my phone, right? Because that's how we have jobs. I think we talked about this, but like we have all of our jobs in notes. Even like just going back in to check something, I click that, and then next thing I know, I'm on Facebook, and I'm like, I'm trying to work here. What am I doing? It just never fails that I end up somewhere I'm not supposed to be while I'm trying to do work stuff. So
yeah, and I think there is an aspect to it. There is a cool aspect to it. I'll be honest, where you show up to measure a job, and you got this little doohickey, and you can go through and mark and do all. But I don't know. There's a lot to consider when you're talking that much money.
The good thing, the good thing about the iPad though, that the Remarkable doesn't do, and it depends. I guess it depends on how your workflow is and if it makes sense for you. Like Derek does it, but I don't know that he tries to send me these pictures, and I don't know that it always makes sense. Is he'll like take a picture of the wall, like you're talking about, right? Then he'll like pull out the pen and he makes doodles on the picture. Of like the changes and like things. And it makes sense to him. But when I get it, it's like, I wasn't part of this conversation. I don't know what these yellow lines are all over this picture.
Yeah.
Like, but it works for him,
Yeah. And that's what it boils down to is what you work best at, because I'm not a tech guy.
Yeah.
So I want something that I can kind of go out there and doodle or do whatever I'm going to do. And then, like I was worried about drawing squares, and I think on both of them, you draw a square and you just leave the pencil on there and it'll make it a perfect square. Gotcha. And then you can move it around, and if you get an iPad, there's a million apps down there that you can.
Oh yeah.
And now I would pay for the app. I would get an app that might be $15-$20 to put on there. So it would actually work, like it's supposed to work. And there's a few, there's tons of videos on that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I looked at Kindles, and they were like,
Amazon has one that's close, Paperwhite or something like that. There's another weird XEOOYES or some crazy thing that's close, but it seems to be a Remarkable and an iPad.
Yeah. But it's gonna be real interesting. I can't believe that, but it's gonna be interesting to see how you like it. And because it looks really cool, man. You can just go in there and just draw, and you can make notes, and you can, add stuff and all this. So we'll see what happens, because I want to basically have a file for Miss Smith, and I want to have all her drawings and then all her notes and everything in that file. So when I'm doing drawings, because I'm sick and tired of flipping through this.
Yeah. I'm moving more towards Google Drive anyway. Like when I do a drawing, I create a file on the Google Drive and I put the drawing in the Google Drive. I put the cut list in the Google Drive. But that's how I'm getting away with having Pro 100 on this computer, the key on this computer, and having the shop computer, so that I don't have to take the key back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
I can log into this one anytime I want to if I need to check something, but I've got it all on the Google Drive to pull up.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of cheating in that way.
Yeah.
But
that's all right. They don't care because it's still one person using that license. So
yeah. Well, then other electronic aids. I think I told you, but I got a wall bot for Christmas.
You did,
and I'm still in the learning phases of it. But so far, it's pretty neat. Got to figure out something with the calibration process of it. So I don't know if you've seen this or not. So let me back up. So a wall bot is a stud finder on steroids. It's supposed to basically send you an image from the wall bot to your phone, and it'll tell you if there's a stud there. It'll tell you if there's a pipe there. It'll tell you if there's an electrical line there. It even has another mode on it if you buy the right one, which Derek bought me the better one. It actually goes to like a thermal. Like if there was an animal in the wall, I could see it.
Yeah. Okay.
It's weird. But it's got this calibration every time you turn it on. And I thought the calibration was really just to like get the motion to the phone. So it was making sure like it was showing the phone the right thing. But I think it does actually have something to do with the wall. So you put it on the wall. We'll pretend this is the wall bot. So we put it on the wall, and then it tells you to make circles, right? So you make a small circle, then it wants you to make a bigger circle, and you do a couple, then it wants you to make a bigger circle, and you do a couple, right? That's not the problem. The problem is that the little felt or the pad on the back of the wall bot is not really that thick. And the wall bot itself, the plastic housing on the wall bot, drags the wall some. And it kind of marks the wall. Like if you're on a white wall, you're going to have a gray spot where you just circle that sucker around. Like it needs just a little bit more felt on the back of it. And it doesn't. And I don't know if I can put a little bit more felt on it. But that's my biggest.
Since you calibrate it every time, I bet you could.
I don't know. I don't know what its standoff from the wall has to be.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but so far I like it because I'm pretty sure we have figured out that there's this one town that we keep doing work in. Because we just did another. I don't know if you saw the barn doors that we posted, but that house had another in-house sprinkler system in it. And it's in the same town as that other house. So Derek's like, what do you think is up with this? I said, this is just 100% philosophy that the city has passed some kind of building code to require in-house sprinklers because it got them around having to build another fire station.
Yeah.
I said, I bet their population has got to the point where that they're getting spread with their existing fire stations. And there's some kind of loophole in the insurance world because that's all tied to your insurance and how much it costs as fire response.
Yep.
So there's some kind of loophole in that says, well, if your new building codes for your outlying buildings, because your fire response is slower, has automatic sprinklers in it, then you're good. And the city doesn't have to build another station. I said, I bet it's got something. I don't know that like I'm dead on, but it's like I'm willing to bet I'm somewhere in the right neighborhood with that.
Well, the only other thing I could think of is the HOA came together and said, if you build here, you have to have sprinklers because
it's different communities, like same town, but different. Like,
Oh, that makes sense. What you said, because I was like, I would be in favor of that, keeping my house from burning down because of how close they are. You know, one of them jokers goes, "Hey, buddy, it's Domino's."
Yeah. No, I mean it's the same town. Like, well, you would think like this townhouse. Like, I mean, I'm connected to the house next door to me. You would think, but I know I know that wall between us is a fire break wall. Like I know it's thicker because I've from seeing them built before.
Yep.
But you would think there'd be some kind of indoor sprinklers in these, but there's not. But I think I think there's something with that city code, and that's why. But anyway, so we were getting ready to hang the header for those sliding doors, and I looked and I was like, oh, I know what that is now. That's because it kind of looks like they kind of look like if you would imagine a recessed light, like almost like a can light, but obviously smaller. But they have like a white cap over them. But you can just see, like if you imagine that white cap was the light bulb, you know how the light bulb, you can kind of see the ring around the light bulb in the can.
Yep.
That's what that cover looks like. Like you can see just past it just a little bit, and you're like, "What is that?" It's a sprinkler head. And I guess it blows that cap off.
Are they red or green on the inside?
I don't know. Can't see them. That cap is covering them.
Yeah,
aesthetically because it's a residence.
Yeah.
Was that the melting temperatures are different?
Mm-hmm.
Imagine
you have like a lower temp pop and then a higher temp pop, but see if they all went to CO2 extinguishers, you wouldn't have to worry about all that stuff,
right?
Yeah,
everybody'd suffocate.
Yeah, everybody. You just Hyundai had a weird thing in the paint shop. I don't know. I don't think it was CO2. Trey can tell us. It might have been CO2, but it floods it so much that they said you have 30 seconds to get out when the fire alarm goes off, or you ain't breathing anymore.
Like a foam?
No, it's just a gas. It's an inert gas.
Oh.
Because, you can't ruin $4 million worth of cars in there by having foam everywhere.
Well, that's true.
So all their fire extinguishers had to be. Now, downstairs where we were, it was water. But up there in the paint booths, I mean, dude, one spark. And you got 5 gallons of atomized lacquer just hanging out in the air. I mean, you're talking bad news, bear.
Must be some kind of oxygen depleting chemical.
It is.
Whatever can suck the oxygen out of the room the fastest.
Yeah, and CO2 will displace oxygen, but I don't know if it will do it that fast. I think there's another chemical in there because they were like, if you're up there and this thing goes off, you just get out. Fire or no fire, you have to get out.
I know at the nuke base, associated with the nuclear missiles and the Tomahawks, we had tritium gas that we were always constantly worried about a tritium gas leak because it depletes the oxygen in the room.
Yeah, and it could be the same thing, something like that there.
And why they made us wear a gas mask all the time, I didn't understand. I was like, if there's no oxygen,
what are you breathing?
This thing doesn't create oxygen. That's the military for you sometimes.
Hey. Well, that's all I had, buddy. I think that was a good. I mean, if you're done, we're at the mark, I think. Close to it.
Are we?
Yep.
We did 3 breaks.
Mm-hmm.
So this is so we're an hour and a half in?
Oh, are we? We might be. Yeah, we're a little bit over an hour and a half because we started at about 6:15 and it's 8:03.
Yeah.
We're not going to know how long the podcast is. We're going to see. Y'all going to get a 6-hour podcast.
Yeah.
Hey, son, I feel like I've been sitting here a long time.
You're in for a treat or you're in for punishment. Whatever. Whatever's coming along. Well, what's coming down the pike? What can we expect in the coming week from you?
Well, Trey's going to be tired.
Yeah.
He's got 2 jobs to cut out and assemble.
We need to get him to stick around next week.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, he will. He's down. He was helping Riley put some kind of underglow light on the truck last night when it was 28 degrees outside. I was like, Trey, what are you doing? He goes, well, I told her I'd help her. I'm like, yeah, but draw a line in the sand, brother. I mean, this is ridiculous.
That's a daylight project.
Yeah, he finished that today. But yeah, he'll be around. We need to get him on one somehow or another. I don't know how to do that. But yeah, we got that. We have that really huge job. He went and did the curtain rods, and there's a couple of tiny things, a little piece of scribe here, a couple of handles here, and then we're totally done with that one. And then we have 2 jobs that we're gonna, I don't know, I'm probably gonna have to build them simultaneously. So yeah, and it's kind of all jumped up and bunched up together because that altar job threw us for a loop. It was crazy train wreck. I mean, nothing that we did, nothing that they did. It was just so big and so many different moving parts. We just had to break it up.
Yeah.
So we'll be playing catch up for a little while. Luckily, these two jobs are fairly straightforward. One of them is Gravy Town. I mean, just standard boxes, standard everything, in and out. Let's go, boom, boom, boom. Nothing crazy.
Yeah.
The next one of them has got a 6 foot by 10 foot island.
Ooh.
That will not be one piece. Yeah, we're breaking it up because we can break that one up. And then it's got, I mean, everything else in there is just regular cabinets.
Gotcha.
You know, I got a lot of hate over that 15-foot island we put in. And I got a video that I'm going to put in the cabinet group. I hadn't done it yet, but basically explaining, hey, here's what the situation was. Go through the double doors. It's right here in the middle of the living room. We set it down. We had the anchor strips down. We leaned it back, put the anchor strips down, leaned it forward, and screwed it. I mean, it was no trouble. I mean, not for the amount of hate that thing generated. So
you did get some hate.
But anyway, yeah, we're that's it. We got a couple of jobs. We'll be working on those jobs probably the rest of the month, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So got to get them done and get out so we can get pizzade on them. You know what I mean?
Oh, I do. I'm still preparing for that month away from a paycheck. So yeah, I know what you mean.
Mm-hmm. Well, you can. I mean, Tammy might throw you 20 for washing the car.
Hey, I can wash the car now.
And off the podcast,
I can caulk some doors for her.
Yeah. You better not. Don't go back there to the house. I go tell you that. Like, you know how to paint? You should be like, nope.
Not a clue.
I don't know, because now that I'm down, I don't know how much I really want to put into the radial arm saw stand, because I really want to be involved in that. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. So I mean, yeah,
I'm gonna be there a little bit over a month, probably.
Yeah. So I'd love to do it. That would be, oh, what a blessing that would be to have that stupid thing done. But we'll see. We'll cross that. But other than that, that's it.
I'm still a little sad you didn't volunteer to drive to North Carolina for me the other day.
I would have met you. 100%. I would have. My brother called me and said, do you want to go down to just outside of Dothan and look at sawmills? And I said, yes. What time should I be there? And he's like, 9:30. I said, okay. Me and him just rode down there to the sawmill factory.
Can you drive right now?
Yeah, I can drive. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Left foot? It's left foot.
It's left foot that's messed up. Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
No stick shifts.
No stick shifts. I don't have to worry about that much anymore. But
you're not right. Isn't Riley's truck a stick?
Mm-mm.
Oh, I thought she bought a stick.
No. But Chris said when he had his surgery, he said, I'll work the brake and you work the gas pedal. And I said, I like that, because you ain't working the gas. I work the brake. He said, we're going to take pain pills, drink whiskey, and ride around his place down there. And I said, all right. That's how you die.
I hope it's big. Got some extra room.
That's how you meet Jesus, is take pain pills and drink a bunch of whiskey. But what you got coming up?
All right, so I've got a laundry room. We're going to call it the cat room. So this is the laundry room that we're building. We got to build them an extra set of drawer fronts for later in life, because the drawers are housing cat litter boxes. If you remember that conversation. Yes. So 4 cat boxes and like these lockers. We're doing an island in the kitchen. I mean, in the laundry room, and then upstairs, 2 bedrooms. One is a very, very complex built-in, 2 walls, a 15-foot wall and a 10-foot wall, built-in dressers and overhead displays, and then a desk, and then the boys' room around the corner. Not too complicated, but pretty decent sized build with some overheads, a desk, and some floating shelves.
Mm-hmm.
So get that all wrapped up and done, and then buy some tires. Fine. Stop today, price those out. Yeah. Cooper.
Oh, Tim Plies got you, didn't they?
Yeah, Cooper Discoveries. God almighty knows. I think $350 a tire.
Yep.
I mean, but we got to have them.
My daddy always told me that's the only thing keeping you on the road is an 1/8 strip of rubber touching the pavement.
Yeah.
He said, don't buy no cheap tire. I said, yes, sir.
And not very much of it at the time.
Nope.
Nope. But got to get that done. Got to get the trailer loaded up, and then motor on down south. And
heck yeah, man, we're going to be down there now. We're going to be cooking steaks. It's going to be great, dude.
I'll be down there for about a month, give or take. But yeah, good. We've decided to not renovate the kitchen. Decided to, well, I guess we're still renovating the kitchen, but instead of rehabbing the cabinets, like I told you, I think it's gonna be just as much work to rip them out as it is to try to rehab them.
Yep, I can tell you it is. I've been there and done that. It's not.
Yeah. So I'll do that. Got a pantry. So we'll have those cabinets to build, a pantry to build, and a little built-in for the living room.
And you gonna build those here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
Yeah. Sometime this week, we need to get on the sharing app, and I need to download files to you so you can take a look at that kitchen, since I've never laid out a full kitchen before.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can take a look at it while you're just sitting around on your butt not doing anything.
You ain't lying. There'll be a lot of that. Yeah, that's exciting.
But that's the plan.
I'm ready.
I mean, that's
and you'll have good help. You'll have good help with Trey.
Yeah, I mean, I figure I can get Tommy to help me, give me a hand.
Tommy can build a frame.
Oh, Trey? Yeah, Trey. Mm-hmm. I guess Trey.
Yeah,
I'm kidding. Nah. And then I'll be around to help. Trey, if y'all will pick up the phone and let me know when you need help. I'll be around.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get that radial arm stand built too.
Dude, where do you see this thing? I can't wait for you to see it.
I just don't think it's that big.
You're gonna be like, oh man, I got to get me one of these.
I would have gotten that other one. I would have.
But it's hard to tell if they're 3-phase, though.
Yeah.
I don't know why people don't put that in there, but
it's just too far to go.
I'm gonna put you on a tool sometime this year, and you're gonna go get it. It's coming.
Yeah. Yeah. I need one. But the problem is right now, like, I don't need, it's like, why am I? Oh, we didn't even talk about my little field trip I made. We'll have to save it.
I don't care. Do what you want to do now.
To the old Festool store.
Ooh. You talking about the Festool discount store?
No, I didn't find that store. No, and don't ask online if Festool offers any discounts either. You will be annihilated by the groups for sure.
Oh, but man.
Got a new track saw. Got an impact. And and an extractor, and I did end up getting a Planet Sander on Marketplace. My dad went and got it same time. Actually delivered it to him at the store.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Still had the factory twist tie on the cord. $700.
Oh yeah, you did good.
He said this ain't never been plugged in. I said okay. But yeah, $700.
And we don't ask questions like, "What are you doing with a Festool drywall sander that's never worked and now you're selling it?"
He bought it. Before he got a chance to use it, the new one came out that has the Halo LED light on it, and he bought that one.
Oh, that makes sense.
That was his story.
You gonna just take a flashlight to it? You got a Halo light.
Yeah, I'll just take the one off the.
Yeah. Put that one on.
No, I mean, it would be nice to have the Halo light, but I'm not doing drywall with it, so I'm not that worried about it. I just need to eat popcorn.
Yeah.
But
yep, you'll be good.
Yeah, it about hurt me. I unloaded the track saw and the impact and in the shop and then left. Like, they're still sitting in the cardboard boxes. I even didn't open them.
I'm going to get a track saw this year, probably a Festool. So I'll be a fanboy.
Yeah. Yeah. I did put all my sustainers together. I was like, oh, that looks impressive there.
The customer has no idea how many millions of dollars you have in Festool sitting there in their living room.
No. Did you buy your daughter a car? No, but I got some Festool.
I got a sander.
Which is another fun joy looking for cars. I'm not really, we got till May, but I'm just kind of like looking like what will come up, just if a deal comes up, and it's like, it's not any fun anymore.
Not when it's not yours.
No, it's not. And then I just don't want to buy it. you know?
Yep.
Oh, but
I bought one this year and one last year. So, well, half of one and half of the other one. But
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna get some of that Chick-fil-A money.
Oh yeah. Of
That's
course, I had
just
to put a
lot,
transmission in one of them. That was fun.
didn't you?
But hey, what's 2,600 here, 2,600 there? I mean, it's nothing. That's
All right.
nothing. Chump change.
Chump change.
Oh Lord, I'm tired of these kids, man. And I found out the other day that you can't kick them out until they're 19. When did we make that a law? Because their whole lives they've been hearing that 18 on your birthday, I'm gonna give you a cupcake and a smile and say good luck with the rest of your life. Hope you got a house.
I think you can throw them out now.
Yeah, but then you got to give up rights and stuff, and then they're like, "You ain't my daddy." I can't deal. I'm not gonna deal with that.
Hey, how's that extra dog working out at your house?
If I hit her kennel that she's in hard enough with the crutch, she'll shut up at 6 a.m. Nah, she's a cute little thing, man. I mean, she's an Australian Shepherd.
Is that what I figured that's what she was?
Yeah, so she's already smarter than everybody else in the house.
Yeah.
And, they just have, dog breeds are different, but Australians, they just have these mannerisms that are like, spread throughout the breed, and they all kind of act the same. And
yeah,
to see a tiny version of Little Bit, because Little Bit's everybody's dog. We all claim Little Bit, and she's just maintenance free. But this one right now, is she smart enough to know that she doesn't want to be in that kennel at night. And so now we have to teach her that you got two options, outside or shut up. And so, but it ain't bad. She quiets now. She'll be a good dog.
Yeah.
And Joseph, he had one that got hit by a car out here years ago, and he's been just constantly asking us, and we're like,
okay.
So this year Tammy gave in and was like, all right, he's old enough to take care of it now and deal with it. Of course, Joseph gets sick right after Christmas, like the day after Christmas. So
That
now
sucks.
we're stuck taking care of the dog, and Tammy was sick before Christmas. Tommy was sick just after Christmas. Joseph was sick just after Christmas. I think I had it for a couple of days.
You had a little something for a little bit.
I had like a little, but it never, of course, that was right after my surgery when I had a 2-liter bag of antibiotics all day, in my
I felt like I was dodging and ducking people at Christmas. We didn't even see some family. I mean,
it was
horrible. Like, hey, you want it? I was like, nope, never mind. I'll see you after the New Year.
Yep. It was
I
horrible.
was like, you people with sick vacation time, you don't understand. Us self-employed folks can't get
That's
sick.
right.
Like,
That's right.
We
don't make money.
And I got this like timeline, like for get this job, then do this, do this remodel thing, get that thing done, and come back and get work. Like, I don't need any delays, in that thing, and getting sick. And I'm a big giant baby when I'm sick. Like, it's not good. I am not a good patient, and I don't power through it very well. Like, I really don't.
Mm-hmm.
And especially, but even then, when you're like in a cabinet shop, you don't. There's a degree that you don't need to be powering through anyway. You're in there running saws, and
That's
right.
And
you're just not. Yep. You're kind of like spaced out. I mean, you'll need to be.
And especially if you have ours was respiratory, and they ran fevers a little bit, but I mean it was coughing and all that kind of stuffed up. Last place you need to be is in a bunch of sawdust.
Yeah.
You know, and just tearing your lungs up and your throat and all that. So I somehow or another, I think I got enough of it to where I can't get it now, but
gotcha.
We came through unscathed, but Tammy and Thomas and Joseph, boy, they were down.
Riley sitting over there in the corner with her shirt pulled up over. Go, please.
I can't remember. I think Riley had a couple of days she didn't feel good too, but hers, wasn't as bad or something like that. I don't know.
Gotcha.
But yeah.
Well, I guess that's a wrap. Thanks.
It.
Hey,
I have enjoyed this one.
Best wishes to everybody in this year. Like,
yes,
I hope you kill it to the max. I mean, may this be the year that you start your business. May this be the year that you start it part-time. We've got a little something in the works for about March-ish, if everything goes right, that we're hoping to bring online and talk about. So We've got plans and just trying to financially plan that out and hope that works. But, just honored and blessed that somebody's still listening to us talk for some reason. Not really sure why they're doing that. I've got big hopes for this podcast to grow and to do and to kind of launch where we thought it would launch, this year. A year of podcasting with not a whole lot of, I don't want to say traction is not really the word, but I would say that almost seems fair. We didn't really get a whole lot of traction, but we gained some followers. We gained some listeners that enjoy, and it's always nice to hear, hey, why didn't an episode come out? Even though we really wish we didn't have to explain why we didn't get an episode out, but it's nice to hear that somebody's upset, that somebody's sad that you didn't get one, so I think that we've got big plans for this. I think we've got the potential to continue to grow it. Organic growth is, sometimes it's slow, but
and my thing is, if you're thinking about it, if you're thinking about it, now's the time. I feel like now's the time. Some aspects of the market are coming down. Yep. Interest rates may be coming down a little bit. Things may be starting to get relaxed. It's an election year. Who knows what gas prices will be in 8 months? Because you have two groups of people that are trying to get your vote and look at me and look at how much good I've done and whatever. But that being said, depending on how the election goes, and I'm talking House, I'm talking Senate, I'm talking, committees, I'm talking presidents, is going to determine how your 2025 is going to look.
Yeah.
So if you're thinking about doing some planning or thinking about running some numbers or doing some thinking, I would get on the train and kind of start the process now, because if it goes south for whatever reason, you got a year of your foot in the door, and you can deal with it. If it don't go south, you're even better off. But
and go as far as you can go, cash based.
Mm-hmm.
If you can only get up and running and run part time and get it going, that's fine. Go that far. Don't go overly in debt. Now, if you need to borrow like $2,000 or $3,000 to kind of jump a hurdle, I don't have a problem with that. You start hitting $5,000-$6,000 for borrowing and trying to start a business, that it can be hard to pay that back. Like,
yep.
So $2,000-$3,000, that's kind of a little bit of a window, but my recommendation would be to go as big as you can with cash based money and see where that gets you, and then build off of your cash. I need this tool. Okay. So I know the next 5 jobs, I'm going to set $100 away from each one of those jobs. And then I'm going to have that tool, and then let that tool make you some money. And then the next one that you need, and just kind of set it aside like a little savings account. It's easier to, slow roll a project than it is to fully fund one.
Yeah, and research is free.
Yeah,
you can talk to people will depend on whatever you're doing. My niece she's graduating this year, and she's looking at being like a fitness and wellness coach kind of thing, where she can do a lot of it online and over the phone and with, virtual meetings and stuff. But she came to me and she was asking me about taxes and about business licenses and all this stuff, and she's starting her research now, and she's not even out of high school. So you don't want to go buy a building or start a business and then learn what it takes to run that business. You need to research now and say, well, what kind of taxes, how can I file? Can I file an LLC, S Corp, incorporated? What kind of business insurance do I need? What kind of vehicle do I need? What kind of building? Do all that stuff now. Don't, be like Travis said, be smart about it. Don't go into debt on something that you don't know if you're going to make it. That's the biggest thing, is you just don't know.
Yeah, because if it does turn bad, economy does turn bad, or 2025 doesn't pan out, and you're sitting there with all this debt, because you jumped too far too fast, like, and now you're not able to sustain, and you're going back into the the quote unquote the real world, and you got all this debt behind you. It's just going to compound your problems.
Yep. Play it smart.
Start small. I mean, there's nothing wrong with part time in it.
That's what I did.
But if you're not happy and you're working 40 hours a week, I hate to tell you this, but there's another 25, 30 hours that you can be working on being happy. It's going to suck. It's going to suck. I did it. But there's 25, 30, 40 hours out there that you could be putting towards digging out of that hole and finding happiness, So I don't think you'll find many of our people in our industry and many people that, have made it and have survived a couple of years that will say that they didn't wish they'd done it. You just don't.
Right.
Now they'll tell you it was hard, and they'll tell you there was challenges for sure. But nothing in life that's good comes easy.
You wouldn't drag Travis and I back to clocking in at 7:30 in the morning and getting off at 3:30. I mean, I would do it if my kids were starving, but literally,
I might have to be hungry.
I would be hungry.
Yeah,
it's worth it, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Go out there. It's worth it, man. Just do it. Do it.
Yeah.
And I'm fixing to go eat some chicken and dumplings.
I'm fixing to find some dessert because New Year's resolution was not to eat healthy.
No, see, that's why I can't make them, because they'll never last a week.
No,
I did it 20 years, and I was like, this is the year I'm going to quit doing this. And I'm like, next day, I'm like doing it. And I'm like, okay, whatever.
I
ain't stressing over it.
Well,
all right. Well, I enjoyed it.
Thank you,
Hope
everybody.
y'all enjoyed listening. Thank you for listening. Look us up, like, follow, share, tell somebody about the podcast. That's what y'all have to do this week.
Yep. Be safe. Protect your foot.
I will. At all costs.
All right. Thanks, everybody. We'll see y'all soon.
See y'all.